Hey, good morning, everyone. It is, geez, what time is it? It's a good question. 5 o'clock in the morning. Hope everyone's doing okay. What's the good word? We should be HD on this right now. Let's take a look. We are. All right. Morning. It's yours truly, Jimmy Sands. Bear with me. We're running some new camera stuff right now. I want to be able to see if I could. Yeah, looks like we can see comments and stuff like that. Well, we are at Sands Bar, and I'm wide awake. A couple things. Hope everybody enjoyed the last couple days of weather. It's going to start getting crappy again. I guess Saturday's going to drop down to the 50s, maybe the 30s or something on Sunday, whatever. So a lot of you guys know that I have some issues with sleep and stuff like that. And the last month and a half, going on 2 months, not quite sure what it is. The nightmares are primarily from the incident that retired me back in 2007. And things kind of kick in when there's a trigger. I don't know what the trigger is. I have no stress. The bills are paid. Heather and I are good. As you can see, Sands Bar is Sands Bar. So I'm not quite sure what it is. And, had some conversation with some people the last couple of days or so. I think I might have an idea. We all know that the 20th anniversary of 9/11 is coming up. And good morning, Keith. Yeah, I am up early, brother. All you know that I was not a fireman in New York City for 9/11. I was a volunteer fireman in Fairport, New York. It was actually up here, living up here when that happened. I went back home in October 2001. I'd already taken a test, so being a volunteer and stuff, firefighter. I mean, I knew enough people. You don't even want to put a number on the amount of people that I knew that passed away. It stinks, but I think that might be part of the reason that the nightmares are going on. But something else that gets me, the 9/11 flag. So the National 9/11 Flag Tour. So most of you, if not all of you, know about the National 9/11 Flag Tour. And I want to talk about that today. So there's a woman out in Boston. She made a illustrated children's book called 30,000 Stitches. It's a story for children about the National 9/11 Flag Tour, which I think is pretty cool since I was a very big part of it, along with the other dozen or so guys from the FDNY and our couple guys from Slidell, Louisiana, and our couple guys from Utica, Illinois. We took that flag to 50 states in 1 year, not including local venues and sporting events and stuff like that. And the whole premise of that flag tour was to restore a 20-foot by 30-foot flag that was damaged on the on 90 West Street. That flag hung on the scaffolding during 9/11 cleanups and things like that. And basically, our job was to restore it. Now, a quick story of it, and this might be something that I'm going to do over the next couple of weeks and months or so. There are 100+ stories of experiences that I've had personally with that flag, with people in this country, around this country, throughout the years of 2009, 10, 11, 12, 13, and then 2014 when we brought it back to the museum at the Trade Center, and then 2015 when it was actually put into the 9/11 Memorial Museum. Basically, the flag, got damaged. Charlie Vitches, who was superintendent of the cleanup of the Ground Zero site, found the flag and pulled it down, and he had every intention of actually destroying the flag properly. So the group that we volunteer with, New York Says Thank You, decided to redo this flag, basically bring it back to the way that a flag is supposed to look. If you go online and you look up National Island flag and stuff, you're going to see the story and stuff like that. You can only read so much, but you can ask me what that flag was, you know. So if you guys remember the Kansas and the tornado in Kansas, Greensburg, Kansas, pretty much the only things that stood was like a grain mill, a couple structures. What they did was they took a whole bunch of American flags that they had found and they stitched them onto a cotton backing with the remains of this flag. So one of those flags that they had stitched on there is in this box right here. And this was given to me, and it says, Jimmy Sands, this flag was once proudly attached to the National 9/11 flag. Thank you for your dedication and service. Greensburg paying it forward. So we have that on display. Not sure if you can get it, but there is a book, and it pretty much shows pictures of what the flag was like and where it hung on 90 West Street, you know. Excuse me. I just wanted to talk about, you know, a couple of cool things. So I'm not going to talk about them all in one shot. The one place that I went to was Gallup, New Mexico, and we had a stitching ceremony at the town hall in Gallup. They had a drum circle outside for the Navajo Nations. They would actually, you know, parade around, march around, dance around. I'll tell you, I experienced all 4 seasons of weather on that day. It was pretty weird. It was cold, it was hot, it was warm, it was snowy, it was rainy, it was windy. While they were doing this drum circle, while we were inside stitching it. Now, what was pretty cool was we had Navajo code talkers actually stitch this flag. And I'd gone outside to go watch the drum circle, and something pretty cool happened. The gentleman that was narrating this for everybody invited me into the drum circle. So we start walking around the drum circle, and as we're walking around, the different members of the nations would come out and shake my hand. So we get almost halfway around. So imagine a circle with another circle in the center where all the drums are and stuff. As we're walking around, we get a little bit halfway, and he says, turn around. I turn around, and here's all of these people marching behind me, dancing behind me. And he goes, they're honoring you. They're walking with you. So we get around to the other side, walk up to the middle, and I was given this little pouch, which I got to think is tobacco. They were using this for like their blessings and stuff like that. And they actually gave me an eagle feather and said, you are now a Navajo warrior. You're to take this with you for the rest of the flag tour to protect you and the flag, which I thought was really cool. He told me that they didn't allow white man into the drum circle. I guess he said that that was an act of aggression if white man went into the drum circle while they were dancing and stuff. I don't know, I never researched it. But a little girl gave me this little hand-carved eagle statue. It was one of the most amazing experiences I've ever had, to be around that. So that night, the gentleman that was helping with stuff, his name is Chewy, he's a cop in Gallup, he challenged me to a drinking competition. And I tell you guys, I don't care how big of a drinker you are, you will never, ever, ever outdrink or be able to keep up with the Navajo. You just can't do it. I had to be a bottle and a half of Jameson deep. I could barely talk, I could barely walk, and these guys are drinking their crap like it's nothing. Yeah, definitely pretty cool story. The only reason I'm talking about this stuff is I think that might be why this illustrated book is coming out. And to see that with everything that's going on in this country, and that how a lot of people have forgotten, and people have been acting all crazy. I mean, I can't believe half the stuff that goes on in this country. So that this woman from the New England area came out with this book, I think it's pretty cool. If you scroll on my page, you'll see some links for it. Let's see, what's another cool thing that we did with that flag? Pearl Harbor. So a couple of us went out to Pearl Harbor, and we had a stitching ceremony on the USS Missouri, on the fantail of that ship. So the time that we'd gone out there, that Pearl Harbor Day, they had just redone the museum, Pearl Harbor Memorial. So it was just for families and stuff, but we did our flag snitching ceremony on the fantail. So there's a couple little things with this. So we had a nice military escort with us, and we set the flag up on the fantail. And I guess soldiers that had passed away, they flew the state flag for them on the back of the fantail for that event. So, we had a stitch ceremony. We had Pearl Harbor survivors stitch it, military, first responder and stuff. Really nice ceremony. What was really cool was they did a flag passing ceremony. And if you haven't seen a flag passing ceremony, I highly recommend you Google YouTube flag passing ceremony. And you watch as you have an officer and a couple of sailors that actually take an American flag, and the officer is standing there, and there's somebody narrating it, and they tell the story of the flag. It was the first time that I ever heard it. They had just looking to see who else we got in there. They had a couple people that came up with a way to mention the flag about 9/11 and how the flag was raised in 9/11, which is really, really, really cool. I have a video on my YouTube page, NYC Fire Guy. If you scroll back down, you can find that. The captain of the USS Chicago was the gentleman that was narrating it. After the flag was passed to the officer, they gave it to that captain. He actually presented me that flag, and I have that flag down here in the basement. So that was a pretty cool ceremony. It went a good portion of the day, and at the end of the day, the ship was closed to tourists and stuff. The gentleman who's retired Navy took us around the ship, and we were able to go into places in the Missouri that tourists can't go. It was really, really, really pretty cool. A pretty interesting place to go. The next day we went to the Pearl Harbor Memorial, and I got to tell you, walking around in there, you would think that you were standing there with the sounds of the Japanese planes flying over and stuff. They have a plane in the background. They had a really nice display, really nice memorabilia. And then we took the little boat ride out to the Arizona Memorial, and that was pretty cool. You could still smell the oil coming out of the Arizona. But when we were there, they had a diver in the water. They were putting the remains of a sailor into the Arizona that morning. So, a couple hours later, we went surfing, and I broke my finger, and Fitzy got seasick. So, it was a pretty interesting 3-day trip, not to mention our bar bill. At that one bar we met Terry Rivera at was probably like $700 in 40 minutes. But that's what you get when you get a bunch of East Coast guys going to Hawaii for 3 days. What was other cool things? I can tell you every single trip that I've been on, from Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, to a very snowy storm in Lester Prairie, Minnesota, to a quick trip down to Nashville, Tennessee to go see Travis, and one of the brothers from the flag tour was handling that detail. Drinking in a bar with Travis and some people, and then Taylor Swift's band walked in and they started playing, which is cool. No Taylor Swift though. And then the next day getting up and getting on a plane and flying to North Carolina, and having a 370 motorcycle rider escort to a place in North Carolina that has the oldest 4th of July parade. Everything from going down to Kennedy Space Center and having astronauts stitch the flag, and hanging the flag up outside in the rocket garden, and then jumping on a bus and convincing the driver to pull over so we can get out and take pictures on the launch pad of the Discovery 3 days before the last space shuttle took off. So there's a whole lot of other things, and I talked with Jeff the other night, and I thought maybe talking about some things with the flag would be pretty cool. But yeah, quick little 15 minute daily show. Maybe we'll do this every couple days. Maybe we'll do a couple things, take questions. If you look on my page, you'll see a lot of different things. You'll see stuff with the flag and stuff like that. I don't know. That's all I got for a quick little live video. So you guys have a great day. It's going to be in the 70s today in the 585. I'm going to try to help Heather spot clean her cushions for these chairs. And just kind of take in the fresh air and the nice weather until it gets cold again, and there you go. So, all right, I'll talk to you guys later. See ya.